The rare time he records more one episode a day. Or whenever I go into recording it. Actually uploading part 8 as we speak, which is... I do it because I don't want to try and rush ahead, then forget where I'm uploading it, and also because, I don't really have that much in the way of resources, so let's carry on. So, we are standing on the other side of the river, estuary, lock, meme, I don't know. And we are about to depart on the map opening up. So, let us begin by yelling at Kim some more.
Yes?
Indeed, right. So, there we go. The radio hums of electricity. Also money. I like money. Well, we're off to a nice bleak start, aren't we? I'm going to come back to over there in a moment. See this here. A breaker box to power the radio panel above you. Maybe there's something inside. I like money. Ahead, decades-old concrete defences. Children play on them now. I heard that one before. Right, let's go over here. So this is the other... Alright. So this is the other side of the road here. Box in the woods. Oh, school. Traffic beyond the gate. More abandoned motor lorries. Sign says no entry. Someone scribbled an inverted star over it. Oh, wonderful. Can we get to the road? I guess not. Don't get free over there anyway. Again, I mean, we've jumped across things before, Harry. Oh, hello. Someone's broken the fence and the barbed wire. I'll check out that car in a minute. Swing's missing. No one's been here for a long time. Right, let's go check that car out. This, I think we may have found out what happened to our, break the fence. There we go. Creaking ahead. Broken axle landing. Vanderbilt cancer, nice.
A banged-up motor carriage lies half submerged in the icy water, slowly sinking into the Insulindian Ocean. Only the cabin top, rear wheels, and the engine remain visible. Remember the tire tracks in Martinez? This is where they were leading.
Hey Kim, I think this is where the tracks in the plaza were leading to.
It appears to be so.
The lieutenant has a peculiar look in his eyes as he inspects the wreckage. Well, let's have a good look at it.
I agree. We should definitely investigate.
The lieutenant replies, his eyes never leave the sunken vehicle. Oh, so now we have time for sidetracking.
You get a sudden sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage in the deep, dark, cold water.
I think I found my car. Let's want to hand over the car battle.
The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out would require a team of specialists. A single day in the salty seawater would ruin most vehicles, but this one looks worn even in places the salt water hasn't touched it.
What's the make of this MC? Is it a logo?
The logo is too deep in the murky water. You can't make it out, but you do see a monkfish float by.
Tidy. How long has it been here?
The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday or Sunday.
He leans forward to peek into the cold water.
The estimate is correct. The incident probably occurred on Sunday evening.
What should we do?
Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside.
Great idea. Then we can get the things inside. The joyrider must have left something good inside. Guns, papers, maybe a cool jacket. A joyrider jacket. A joyrider jacket. You feel a strange connection to this joyrider. Maybe he's from some kind of joyrider's district and likes blue and white racing livery, like a cop would.
How long would it take for the tide to come in?
I don't know. An hour or two, tops?
Well, we'll start on the swing over the tides recede then, shall we?
As you sit down in the old, rusty playground, the world around you becomes very silent. The hinges creak under your weight, dangerously so. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around the blue motor carriage in the sea.
It looks rather blue.
Yes, it does.
What's your favourite blue thing?
Let me think about it.
The tune on your lips forms a strange yet undeniably beautiful contrast with the surrounding bleakness. The lieutenant gives you a quick glance. Then, still looking straight ahead, he joins you with a higher pitched and slightly more melodic trill. Two birds on a wire, whistling by the seaside, looking at the water and a sunken car. The wind blows. In the distance, behind the church, some vagrants are having an argument over a bag of tear they found in the reeds. Further away, a flock of seagulls lands. The clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. 30 minutes have passed. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion.
Tide shall take its sweet time.
I believe it's following a pattern set millions of years ago by cosmic forces. But I suppose it could move quicker, yes?
Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass.
If you had to sign on either the strikers or the shipping company, who would you choose?
Luckily, I am already a member of an independent organization, and therefore do not have to choose between a rock and a hard place.
But if someone points a gun to your head...
Your voice echoes on the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass.
Is that a number on the side?
Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for?
It's as if he knows what it stands for, but wants you to say it. It's pedagogical. Does he know something about the driver of this vehicle?
I'm guessing district something, precinct, something municipal?
A precinct, yes. A police precinct. Precinct 41, your precinct.
A massive pit opens up in your stomach, and the most terrible feeling comes over you.
Well, I knew it was somewhere, because and the game told you it was somewhere, because you had the feeling we were looking at Kim's car.
No. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry.
Oh, no.
Yes, your car is in the sea. Face it, so we can start dealing with this.
I drove my car into the sea?
I'm afraid so, yes. It looks like you started in front of the whirling, jumped over the canal, and then drove your vehicle in the sea right here.
They're not going to take me back after this, are they?
People are more valuable than machines. Training a police officer is even more costly.
I just can't know this.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and doesn't say anything.
Maybe I was in pursuit of someone.
Of whom? I don't think so. If anything, you were probably drunk.
Probably. Try definitely.
How do we get it out?
Detective, we don't. A rescue operation really isn't viable at this point.
So it's just going to be there like that?
I'm afraid it will have to be there like that for many years. Look at it. Parts of it might be salvageable, but overall, this machine is a write-off.
I still fix it.
That is very unlikely. All the electrics are toast. That goes for the electromagnetic steering and brake systems as well. You'd be lucky to find one undamaged component in there. In a few months, there will be nothing but rust left of this vehicle. It'll be cheaper to buy a new one. Well, not cheaper. This motor carriage costs 40,000 real. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than try to refurbish this.
Could even pay a hostel bill.
Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your district's budget. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition to my kinema.
This was 20% of the station's vehicular budget.
Things are going so well, I was whistling merrily.
You can still whistle. Besides, the night is always darkest before the dawn.
Well, I can see what's in there now. Yep.
Yes, let's go take a look.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along. Oh! Nice! So that's visual calculus and that. Yeah. Let's get that on. And we have this.
A police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You. Some seaweed is stuck to the back.
Found my badge!
At least something good came out of all this.
There's only glasses with the badge in your hand.
Encased between 2 durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information and a watermark in the shape of the street grid of Revachol West. You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document number, the date of issue, and, in the lower right corner, your precinct. The man keeps winking at you with his green-grey eyes. The photo is old, no doubt about that, but the badge is new. You used an old photo for a new badge.
How old?
8, maybe 10 years. The guy in the picture is rather good-looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns.
He's winking. Why?
What do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression, although it looks less grotesque on him than it did on you.
I wonder what would happen if you got to this point and you'd not looked in the mirror.
It looks like you had quite the charming face way back then. Your hair is brown and slightly curly. Your eyes seem more clear somehow.
That'd be interesting.
The lack of alcohol swelling is a bonus, though there's a pinch of that in your cheeks already. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light.
Okay, let's
You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark.
Harrier du Dubois.
Harrier? That's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Evrard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't.
What kind of name is Harrier?
It's a wartime name. Revolutionary. The kind mothers give their sons during troubled times. Like Undying or Boxer or Ironhide.
A name like armor.
Harrier Dubois it is, then.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois.
He's not going to call you Harrier. He'll keep calling you officer when he's angry with you, and detective when he's not. The badge in your hands shines as you...
Lieutenant W. Freighter.
What does that mean?
The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a lieutenant.
And
The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. You have declined twice, thus you're double Freighter.
declined.
There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's decomptage might be taken, or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors, out of respect. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank, in your case, lieutenant.
Heavy-duty case-solving machine.
I thought my rank was drunk.
Yes, apparently you've had a rather successful career in the past, and This leads me to believe maybe your current situation is only temporary.
That gives me hope at least.
Good.
Décomptons?
Décomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol citizens' militia. It means counting down to twos.
The countdown is modeled after the dual leadership system employed by the left during the revolution, which in turn was developed by last century experimental psychologists in the University of Königstein.
The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. That's basically it, except for a few kings.
Kings?
Kings like satellite officers and the additionally a freighter rank I already explained.
The long and short of it is, you're his superior.
So you've been putting up with all my bullshit because I'm your superior?
No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconventional approach, you are doing good police work. It matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea. And now we've even found your badge.
He trusts you, for now. Try not to spoil it. Such a small yet precious
Okay, serial
thing.
number.
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Jamrock, Precinct 41, with some numbers thrown in there for good measure.
The numbers are not there for good measure. They have an administrative purpose, one that's unfortunately been erased from your memory.
So, date of issue, 7th of November, 50?
4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter. A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then.
The case created a lot of edge you have to take off. The death march really gets us going. You're pretty sure you weren't doing well, but better? Probably yes.
Well, precinct 41, that's obvious.
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41, like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor, a lot of asphalt. The 41st is...
He stops. It's what?
It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is.
It's no wonder you are like you are, he thinks. But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdiaeva. Roberts, Feuerbach, Dimitri. Suddenly, names from your decomptage flash in your forebrain. The badge in your hand shines
Okay, so
as
put
you...
that away. Okay, so we found me beach. I'll go and money picking down the beach, boys. Bottle drained of all its booze, lies frozen in the ice. Money. Right, so it's worth going back now because we've probably got some memory of the people. We could also flash my badge at the party boys. That was good. Hey, there's a boat tucked away in under all this tarpaulin cover. Open the window first. Through the broken glass, dusty shelves, and a forgotten chair. So we know what to expect. We walk in there and get absolutely murdered. Yay! The fact that this is a loading screen alone tells me there is most likely something else here. You see a dark red chair in the dim light of the room. Oh yeah! A cold breeze is enough to make the wall planks creak. I love those guys. Okay, so there's nothing else in there. Platoon drama. Sure, why not? Hey! We're less disco cop and more dapper cop now, Jesus Christ. You've got some smart shirt, nice trousers, bitch jacket and hat. Oh yeah, we getting ready to rock. Fuck was I? What was this? Sounds of life to the north. Washboard scratch filth from fabric. Cinder blocks, charred. Makeshift fire pits with magazines for lighting. The bushes are too thick and forward to pass through. Oh, I guess I have to go a long way for this.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
Fair. How's in here? Okay. See dusts covered lilies, dried tulips on a bed. Ooh. Thought I said house for a second. White curtains have been drawn shut. No looking in. Oh, again, quick turn. A wetting stone, well worn and covered in rust. Construction material. Whoever planned to build this house left in a hurry. This street sign is illegible beneath the graffiti.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth.
Hey, where's your mum?
The kids don't reply, absorbed in their little game.
You guys look identical.
The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden, as if that's something to be scared of. The obvious fact that you just stated.
He looks just like me.
Yeah, I just said that.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt. The rock kicker was just being shy, but now he's enthusiastic again.
You're bad with kids.
And what of you, Kid Master General?
Maybe I am. Now, how about some actual police work? We are not getting anything here.
No, fair enough. Hard to see the details. The colours all warm and welcoming and cozy, though. A flower trop where nothing really grows. Maybe in spring. You can't see into the house from this angle. It's locked tight. What are these doing in the fish?
Hi, officer.
A woman in a raincoat stands on the quay, considering an overturned boat. Sword and a scanner with hand on her hip.
Anything I can help you with?
I've got questions. What's your name?
The name is Lillian. People call me Netpicker. I think I have time for questions. What are the other ones?
I'm looking for someone. Maybe you can help?
Let's see. Who are you looking for?
I'm looking for some missing cryptozoologists.
I don't think I know what these are. Care to elaborate?
People who look for animals who are hard to find.
Aha! Like snowmen.
Snowmen? I don't think I've heard of those.
2 old guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like.
The like?
Right. Not only snowmen, also green men, monkey men burning rhinos. You get the picture.
That sounds like a bugger.
Oh, you're getting it. And it is gorgeous.
Okay. Where'd they go?
I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that's where they were heading. Who else are you looking for besides snowmen?
That's all for now.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
Nice sword.
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly.
It is imposing.
It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy, just for intimidation.
And why do you need intimidation tactics?
From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, Men need a lesson in manners from time to time.
Can I borrow it?
No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check? You would put me in an early grave.
So are all the men now?
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying.
Where's your husband now?
Gone.
Where?
To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago.
Sorry. There's an option here. Oh.
He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
She really liked those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy.
Time really is the best cure for sorrow, isn't it?
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
She glances at the village. The two little kids are playing with what looks like rocks.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
I don't know. Right. Nay, famosi. Money. There we go. Plank creaks beneath your weight. Ah. Where was that? It's Boto, wasn't it? There was one that had another odd thing to it. No, who's on? Oh, there we go.
These are some wonderfully regular pants. Not too tight, not too loose, moderate in every sense. You'll blend right in at some pleasant dinner party.
I like regular normal things.
I know you do. These inter-Isolari pants are like wearing a perfect compromise in your nether regions. No one will call the moral intern on you like this, that's for sure. You're a little more moralist now, buddy. A little more normal, even if you didn't want to be. Makes sense. This is what wearing boring office trousers does to you.
Plates thrown freely in the water and moored. No, that's getting this barrel sorted. Barrel! The... Inside you, the case is sound of some kind of heater sputtering. Money. We're shut.
You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Samaran, possibly Sigayan, also known as the apricot suzunti.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
Then how does she know you're here?
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And we don't want any trouble either.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
What he said, we're cops. We don't want to cause trouble. We take care of trouble.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
What kind of element are we talking about here?
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
So, been here before? It's raining.
No, not you personally.
Oh,
I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. One of them killed another. Locked himself in that woodshed over there.
she points to the building behind her.
He was brooding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about what he'd done in a more secluded place, somewhere more quiet.
She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat.
If I'm considered being a lowman, why hasn't anyone told me about that?
Maybe they are afraid,
Why?
because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here, as long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then, because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage, and not a lot of houses, or a lot of people. My kids are long gone, searching for treasure. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
I skipped this so I was line there, sorry. Where can someone stay around here?
Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack.
How much is it?
I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM.
Hang on, you're just giving it me?
No one is using it, and God knows it's not much anyway. You can stay there.
Not sure if it's appropriate for the RCM to accept free accommodations.
Oh, don't. It's your choice. No skin off my teeth.
So one more time, I can just have the room?
Aye. The room is pretty bare bones, but it's got a bed and roof over it. That's more than some folks have around here.
I don't know much, they sound fine.
An uncomplicated man. I take it that means you're interested.
Sure.
Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the police.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here, in a shack.
I mean, it's not 24 hours a day, so... what's in the village?
Just us. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist.
What do you mean?
This is pretty much a non-place. A gap. A blank spot on the map. Just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street.
The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny.
Who else is around here?
Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east. But they are away right now. And then there's the drunks. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home, even for them.
I guess she means the people across some of the bushes. I met Leanne and her twins already.
Lillian is tough. Tougher than the men here, at least. If it wasn't for her and the kids, this place wouldn't have a spark of life left.
I haven't seen any drunks yet, though.
Sooner or later, you'll see for yourself. Don't have to look long to find these guys.
Okay, there's another topic if you don't mind.
She nods, rinsing another piece of cloth.
What's further on down the coast?
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even.
Why is that abandoned?
Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then.
So, they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes?
No, they've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
What else is on the down coast?
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses. empty.
Which is it then? A pharmacological plant?
I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. Was born in Samara.
Could be that reactor. No, it's not the reactor. We'd be dead if it was the reactor, wouldn't it? And if it was something like...
Of note, the old fish market up on the boardwalk. But it's closed.
Who'd want to come to a fish market here?
No one. That's why it's closed.
Fair.
It was once a bustling place, back when I was young, and so was everyone else. Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere else.
That's it. There's going to be more on the coast.
What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End. Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible. And now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
So tell me a little about yourself. Who exactly are you here?
Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's what you're asking. And my married name is Sadie. Now it's your turn, Mr...
Lieutenant W. Peter Harriet Dubois.
Quite a handle you got there. So many titles. One of them double.
Okay, well, I think that's about covers it for me. I'll see you later. I love the fact it actually remembers the fact you've mentioned you wanted to say that you're not Harry, you're Harrier. Because, you know, Everett tells me that, and Everett is why, hey buddy. Hey. Jamrock shovel a block. Get together. Doodles. Well, and womany. Some people would consider this stealing. Those people are not me. Or Kim, it seems. Maybe Kim is watching me do this, I don't know. So is this the shack or is it the other one? Could be the other one. I think that's the washerwoman I'm in there. Oh no. We're not taking that. Industrial coal pellets burn with an orange afterglow.
Hello, mister.
A young girl, barely 4 or 5 years old, sits on the sofa. She's looking at you with a frank curiosity.
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
What's that?
It's a grouse.
She yelps, smiling broadly.
You might be able to get on Gart's good side if you make up for the skewer you broke.
Can I have it? I know someone who really likes stuffed birds.
Sure, just go and get it. I don't like it anyway. It looks angry.
All right. You just need to grab it from the ceiling and go.
We ask first. Are you Lillian's daughter?
Yes, I am. Little Lily. You know my mom?
Yes, we met earlier.
That's nice. My mom is great. She's never angry or anything.
Are the twins outside your brothers?
Yes. They don't want to play with me. They're older and play outside. They look the same. Sometimes I can't tell them apart.
Right, I said the same thing.
They look identical.
She certainly processes the word and stickers with laughter, as you've just said. What you got there?
It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of. Like...
She holds the fuzzy beast up to demonstrate.
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Oh, okay. Well, pleased to meet you, Lammy.
Lammy usually doesn't like strangers. But you're also fuzzy, like Lammy.
I mean, sure. And we leave.
Bye!
Oh, Jesus. That was a little too much on that one. girl's large, curious eyes remained fixed on you. Well, now we know we can take it without remorse. Try and off that to go out later. Right. So we got our badge we can show to Yacht Lady. I am bad with names, you'll learn this. Do I go speak to these thicks down here? Not really. What's we got here? There's some more bolts I can pick up in the bag, maybe. Rusty and letters read. Mazoot. Zot. The rear tire of motor carriage adorned these reeds. That's a no than that. And that's accessible. Throw us upwards, I refuse. Okay, nice. Oh, there. Looking back at you from the rust-coloured water. You. It's me, but damper. This was me. A kick drum pulse. The music's coming from somewhere on the ice. Wait, ice? Nope. You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you. Ah, here is the church. Sun reads since beyond 1147. So they do have those dates. Dusty pews in the shadow. Many seem to be missing. An altar shrouded in the dark, or something like that. It's too dark to tell. Later. A dead phone. Smash receiver. Looks like someone hung up too hard. Someone must have worked hard to smash the plastic dome.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change. You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable. Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre? Is that you, Pierre?
No, this is not Pierre.
Do you have any news about Pierre?
Who is Pierre?
He's my sister's grandson. He used to visit me as a lad. Fine young man. But who are you, then? A salesman of some sort? Modern goods are rubbish, and I can't afford them anyhow. It's a shame what you did to our country.
The woman moans and the phone lines howl in unison with her. No, I'm a police officer.
To hell with the police. To hell with you.
Her voice is drowned in white noise. Sounds like waves washing a beach, growing in volume until the call suddenly disconnects. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you. To your relief, he did not.
So yeah, we got a number of right there. Alright. Am I just going this way to unlock fast travel options? Maybe! Well, this must be the apartment place they mentioned. Bars cover these long, dusty windows.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stood next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
That's a completing term. You dull mother...
Nice to meet you.
You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of him, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
You rest a hand on the boy's shoulders. The child The child stays hidden beneath the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his verm-themed colouring book. Huh?
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into Worms lately.
Worms, yeah.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
Maybe he knows about the role-playing game.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again. Also, sod you for assuming, but then again, I am playing a lot of Century Age of Ashes, which I promise I'll actually probably do an episode of that with my mic turned on. But that gets really hard to concentrate on. Anyway.
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why? Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
Cybernetician, that's a word. I love that word. What's it fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes, springtime sun warming his handsome face. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is, this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
Don't think I've ever heard of this Feld Electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve. I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was the ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
Well, I got a little tool on there. Well, check back at where we came from. So, tape computer.
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer.
Oh, this is a interesting bug. So basically I'm stuck in mid-conversation. So... yeah, I'm stuck in conversation here. Right. So I might do a bit of chopping and changing, I might not, we'll see how we go. So this one.
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced.
He assumes something like a combat stance, facing the wind.
What happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
The boy wiped his nose on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes, possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing to the other building, then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
Saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
The lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
So what happened to the engineers? You know, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
He smiles again as he says this, as if he's somehow personally responsible for this bleak turn of events.
Wait, is he saying that we should just bypass the excesses of the revolution?
Tape computers, right.
Tape computers.
He nods. Wind... Flu-sling is... Oh, whatever. What did revolutions have to do with these advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
He says this as the sun looks up, lightly chewing on the cover of his Rome-themed colouring book.
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans le Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
He looks at his son, who starts giggling, his face hidden behind the book.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
You can't see it, but my thumb is in the rays to the sky. Well, there's a middle finger there for a second. Yeah, because that's how it's flippable. Anyway. So these computers work. They work like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Womty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Juice joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? He did it. He said Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juiced?
Okay. Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? Okerman? Giving Carl Juice? What are you talking about?
The Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
Come on, there's no place called that, surely.
Actually, I think there is. No, it's too much. He's joking.
In fact, I'm not. The Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center.
I mean, Tate Modern. There's a few weird and wonderful names out there, I guess.
But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Bearing the technology of this time in this game, that's not going to last long.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Martin's gets some of those.
Even one would be very useful. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to the precious device. But so they did. The failed playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07.
The playback experiment?
Yes, the official name of the prototype.
Ah, okay.
Some sources report it as the failed playback experience,
Oh, God.
but those are incorrect.
No, disco motherfuckers. Anyway, why did the revolutionists destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype.
3, okay.
Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
He takes a step back, the boardwalk creaking mournfully in the wind. What about something else?
But of course, what else?
That's all for now.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikael here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
I got to cut this, so... I'm going to tongue away to cut that. I'm like... Another power box. It charges nothing now. It's empty. Fence blocks the path. No way on from here. Oh. Neighbor. Nice. Double nice. Alright. Box in the woods. Oh, score. I was thinking of the moral probably end of the contract stitches together somewhere.
You see a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away."
Tomorrow's just a whisper away.
Looks like tomorrow never came.
But at any rate, it's the colour of his bomber jacket. You'll learn all about it, right. Oh, quick bundle down here. I'm not going to do the phone call. Oh. I've done the power station, haven't I?
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad. The cloth, if you can still call it that, makes a soft crunching sound as you thrust your finger into it. It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
Why not?
It's a guano-encrusted jacket, and you're already carrying around enough as it is.
Fair enough. So, where was the church? Church of the Hills, yeah. Aha! Tiny cages, carefully constructed. These soggy logs smell of ignition fluid. Still they won't light up. These heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes crumbling. Let's have a chat to this fine fellow.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
His self-conscious enthusiasm renders his movements ungainly. He looks like your understanding of a scientist.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
I see the name and I cringe already.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Morale, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
Lena sent me. She's been real worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jamrock. The labyrinth of streets underneath it makes it difficult to pass. Not like walking over a nice water lock.
It's been fixed. It was fun when I crossed it.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
You found suspended endings come loose in the wind. Phasmid?
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
What makes it so difficult to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there? And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
Such as?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
How big's it?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
He leaves the conclusion up to you.
Seems puny, to be honest.
Why are you so interested in this stick bug? It doesn't seem to be as colourful as some of the other cryptos I've heard about.
Typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
He shakes his head. What have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So what you're trying to say is no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
He holds up an index finger.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says this briskly enough that he seems to be taken aback by it.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
Enough that even he, yeah.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
What makes you think it's here in Martinez?
There was a credible sighting here recently. A pair of teenagers described a creature that matched the Insulindian phasmid to an uncanny degree, despite not knowing what it was themselves. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the Elysium phasmid has died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Isn't that, No.
He means asexual reproduction.
Yeah.
The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
That's pretty clever.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
And fail miserably. What about these traps?
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Later design?
Yes.
He says this with some pride. What are you using as bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm. A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
Carnivore stick insect? You sure about that?
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
Okay, well, how they work then?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
I'd like to point out, he thinks this is a very hardy species, but delicate exit? All you do, the traps don't work.
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
Sure, but that doesn't necessarily interject making it possible viable. Maybe they're using the wrong plant.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Yes. What?
She seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
He looks south where Lena would be.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
She's seen it?
Really? She's sighted it?
Yes. That's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
Okay, we've got one of these. Fair enough.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Doesn't sound well. Maybe you can go back to the whirling, warm up, then come back to the trip. Brain. Maybe you could go back to the whirling, warm up a bit, come back and then check on the traps?
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
I could go for some trap setting.
How did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
So you're living your childhood dream out then, basically?
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
Oh, well, why not be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too.
Real? I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
Not really. It's a profession, just like any other.
Indeed. My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
Was anything truly surprising ever happened to you?
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
So they changed the script there. I'm not reading that one. You can see the changes there. Basically, it's the same sort of symptom. I hate it when they do that. Text is easy. Copy and replace it.
Interesting. Something for later, this close call.
What kind of evidence are you into then?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
He's interested in things that people believe that scientists don't.
So you think other scientists don't listen to ordinary people enough?
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation and remuneration, not real research, and certainly not the truth. They're a cowardly lot, and both the field and basement archives can be dangerous places.
So you've never discovered a cryptid directly then?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So how many have been found then?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemney, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes.
50%, okay.
2 are categorised as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
So 50% hoax, less than 1% actual hit rate. Yeah, so only 2 have been proven real.
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Yugograd, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere.
There you go.
We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves. More so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
I don't even know what to say. That is a very small number of discoveries.
Do you know what the success rate in pharmacological research is? 0.00003% of bioreactive agents have reproducibly beneficial effects. Yet science persists in the search for medicine, as we persist in our search for new species.
Okay, bearing in mind that this is a different world, different technology, different tree and all that lot, that number's wrong.
He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
Or he's made it to look like he's done the math on it. Well, thank you for that. Still something else.
Yes?
I'll get going. I'll come back and talk to him later. Look at it. A boy bumps in the water. The number says 11. Do it. Oh. It's almost impossible to get a fire going this near the ocean. Let's talk to this guy then.
Hello, I'm Gary. How do you do, officer?
Hello, I'm insert name here. How do you do, insert person here?
Yellow man. I mean, officer.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man. Interesting. This is something to ask him about, after a little probing first.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a great lover of the great outdoors?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerates? This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
I'm not pressing number 1 because look at this. Is this not the face of a teetotal? Yeah. Nobody's perfect. I'm sure you've been tempted to drink.
Oh, I've been tempted. But someone has to stay strong for Revocol.
Kind of pronounce it right. His gaze shifts to a pile of sogalogs at his feet.
He pronounces Revocol with a hard K, unlike other people.
He said Revocol?
I like to pronounce it the hard way. The old way. The Vespertine way.
He nods solemnly.
He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden message, inviting you to mispronounce it too, perhaps. It's odd. It's a secret rite. A very fringe nationalist handshake, probably.
Do you have anything know about the man who was hanged in the whirling rags?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
So you do know something about it?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
Yeah, it's nice to point out that... Oh, I don't know everything, but this information that everyone knows, right?
He's not feeling very comfy in his clothes, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Strange. He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
Is this yours?
My mug? Why would you think that?
Seemed you were calling it longingly when you cried yellow, man.
Oh, no, that's not... Why would I be calling to a broken mug?
I believe you. You look like the kind of man who knows it's a crime to lie to an officer.
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer. You're not going to find me, are you?
I just want information.
Whew. Thank you. You won't regret this. I won't use another man's property to dump my garbage ever again. I don't know what got into me, really. Work has been stressful lately. Damn Koiko's price dumping us out of competition.
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
How'd you get into a trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Why would you ever need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hanged behind the whirling rags, into the trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Please?
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Okay, then what happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags, because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changed his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
The lieutenant remarked coldly.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
So this is the weasel that, Everard wants to catch. Interesting.
As he shifts uncomfortably,
Ow.
a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads, against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before.
Thank you, game.
But where?
We wouldn't happen to know about if it was missing armor now, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor. But I don't know anything about it.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing. There's something going on here. You should observe him more closely after this topic is concluded.
Did you just have something just now?
What sound?
Don't mess with me, I think I know what you're talking about.
I haven't the slightest. There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
The sound you heard was not the sound of something easily abandoned.
Let's move on for now.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
He seems visibly relieved it's over.
Does this mean you were in his apartment, admiring his colonial mug collection? Perhaps it would be interesting to tell him.
So, Gary, you live nearby in an apartment in Mountain Heights?
Sure do, officer.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
Have you found your door open lately?
In my home. Yes. When I was going to... How did you know?
Nothing. I just wanted to ask if your door's been unlocked recently. No, I have.
Is this about the Union? Did the big man open the door?
I didn't go in.
So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him. What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
The man looks around whispering. You make sure no one else hears you talk.
As he lowers his tone, he hunches his back.
I don't even know what it was about. I just opened the door.
Whatever it is, tell him I'm silent as the grave. I was probably talking too loud in the whirling the other night about some theories. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay?
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door-opening operation.
You were surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Kizaragi?
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale. I meant no offense, truly.
The lieutenant's a native of Rochelle.
Oh, yes. Of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections. Let's change the subject, okay?
You a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
There probably is a follow-up to this, but you can't think of any. Doesn't matter. Waste of time anyway. Gotta keep moving. That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
Something underneath it, maybe?
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once.
Yeah, buttons the shirt.
I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. Thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso.
We're not detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth.
Gary, what's going on?
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Why did you really put the clothes into the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling.
He looks at his feet.
So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, He's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left. So I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire. He's not trying to flatter anyone.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Sealite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
He shakes his head.
They were thoroughly conservative men, he realizes suddenly. It's difficult to say what the lieutenant thinks of this historic apology. His face does not belie emotions.
Why'd you lie?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you. But...
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
Do you know who killed the hangman?
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word. I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore.
This is all he knows.
Yeah, that's why he's scaring them. Okay, hand it over.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat, but so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
We done here?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
Thank you. Okay then. So now we have a... okay. And I'm also half dead. Oh. I also had money. So I think we'll leave it there. That is some real progress. That's the North Ocean. So effectively... I can't put that up again, Cumberland. So effectively... Oh. He, That's cool. So let's... No boat there it is today. So... It's kind of suggesting that it's not the Union that's done it. Oh yeah. We are not trying those on at the moment. Boathouse is shoddily constructed. A strong breeze might blow it over. Oh, where's this? Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench, covered in rust. Oh, is this that apartment block?
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Hey, there's more bullet holes here. Something's definitely gone down here.
Correct. The density of the bullet holes is unusual, even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinez's sense. Grim affairs, meaning this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days.
Why not?
The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution. The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much. We do need to retain some humanity in this world.
So let's go for the visual characters.
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them. A dozen at least. Their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet. No sound. No movement.
I'm turning the sound down.
10 meters away, Other shades are lined up in an orderly manner, automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. The sun blazes high up in the sky, baking the planks, the sand, your skin. The order was carried out in the afternoon. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
What is this?
The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed.
Look at people against the wall.
A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations. As demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes, they stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. Ordinary people, familiar, each and every one of them.
Who were they?
Collateral damage on the path toward normalcy and progress. Such is your belief, officer.
What about the soldiers?
7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one?
No, about the guy standing on the side.
The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air. The lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
Kim, who was who in this execution?
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces.
Remember what Trent Heidelstein said about Veld?
Hang on, what if it was the Feld personnel, back when their assets were being seized by the revolutionaries?
Another likely scenario.
You nods.
Or maybe...
What about these people from the coalition, the so-called moralists?
Yeah. It's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the orders.
Farewell.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures.
Money. Early. What the memes is this? That? Okay. So I'm not gonna go into there, that's... Wait, can I get into it? No. The door is not only barred shut, it's inaccessible. Oh, good grief. Okay, no, that's alright. Oh. This section of the coast has been used in decades. Not so certainly a ruined building. And yeah, that's back with the tech guy. Well, there we are then. Across here. Water runs from the west, sources upstream. Break pipe? Where the fuck are we? black swallows circles above you. You hear it chirp. Oh, that's nice. That's inaccessible. How do we way up there then? That's bad towards the village, I think. Yeah. So, what's between this place, huh?
The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the lock looks slightly rusted.
I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangement. But just so you know, after we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the whirling in rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
The key turns with a satisfying click. You can enter the shack now.
So, if I come to this door around about 9 o'clock, he's going to bugger off. Okay, cool. Nice. Do you see the waves? The sea? A church? Old science fiction magazines. Books about bird watching. Normally Aqua 39. Intricate heat engine hums quietly, giving out a pleasant warmth. Floorboards creak under your step. Using a thermodynamic expander condenser cycle. Nice.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, such as it is, without the expression. It's just hairy.
Okay, yeah.
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
Is shaving the right call?
The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The stash is gigantic. You'll be looking like a pansy without the chops. A fucking pansy. A fresh start looms ahead. Clean yourself up and be born anew.
Sure.
Like an artist with a brush or a master swordsman, you use the small mirror and the straight razor with some soap to remove all that unkempt hair from below the nose line. The sharp blade chafes against your skin, producing a scratching sound. The surface underneath the beard feels tender, the air brushing against it chilly. They feel so smooth, surprisingly so. A feeling of freshness overcomes you, as if you just came from a cold bath. The water reflects back. You almost look like a professional.
Oh, that did change. Oops. There we are. I bet that's a good point today, but if I can comment on it, of course.
Yes?
So,
Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps,
you can tell me.
I'm not really sure about this turn of events. I think the mutton chops might have been a better idea. They sort of seem to cover up some of the... Either way, good on you. You were saying?
Nothing. Probably get everyone just screaming at me for doing that. I don't care. So what the checks I needed to redo, it was composure was one of them, I think. Interfacing was one, yeah. Save that one for now. Oh yeah. Let's get the commander's jacket back on. So I can now jump to the Church of the Martyrs as well. I think I'll step back to him. I don't got it. Oh, what the jobs in there? It's Wednesday evening and something hideously exciting is underway. People are gathered underneath the billowing roof of a lolly-shaped trophy building, sipping wine and exchanging opinions. 29-year-old Wonder Twins Gary and Keith Jewist are the stars of the show, with their bomber jackets and white sneakers. Head creators of this expedition. It's the Wop-de-Dom-di-Dommiest event this year, and all the cool kids have RSPV'd. Where are you? If you were not there. I might get rid of that one. No, this is unlocking that one. Okay, we're definitely gonna leave it there. A bit of a mess, but that's what we sort out later. So, adieu.